Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan, and I am joined by compatriots, fellows, friends from the far reaches of Los Angeles. The three corners meet, the triumvirate. Firstly, that laugh you may recognize as the one, the only, never the lonely, Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello! Sometimes I'm lonely, but not today because I'm with friends. I play Elo or Elo, the modified medical droid.
And the other voice that I'm sure you'll recognize. He's true, he's blue, he's got no clue. Alex Herrera.
That's more R's than I deserve.
I know, but I love it. I love to put those R's in there.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I play Beegax, the Doug Slicer.
Let's just jump right in. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 18, High-Rise Hut. While avoiding the Empire presence on Socorro, Elo and Beegax took the opportunity to re-equip and rearm themselves, and came away with a rare Jedi weapon from a less than reputable source. After recouping their losses, the fringers make their way to the extravagant casino at the edge of the city, its construction rising to rival the towers of Soco-Jaal spaceport. It is there they are to meet Zalto the Hutt, a notorious gangster and target of an assassination plot engineered by the crime lords of Socorro. Elo and Beegax must weigh their options carefully. Which side of this rivalry will they fall on? What are they willing to risk? And how will they escape the system alive?
Our camera pans up from the dusty, dark sands of the Socorran desert into the vermilion sky and the blazing sun, up onto the skeleton of a monolith of a building, tall, towering over the city skyline of Achaia, the capital city here. We see Beegax and Elo making their way to this site out from the center of the city, away from the bustle of the market and the hum of the fans, the colorful cloth and tapestry that make up the center of this place, away from the growing amount of patrols of stormtroopers that are policing the area around. Their white bucket helmets, their pauldrons, and their weapons prominently displayed as they patrol through the alleyways and the open spaces of this city. But you make your way past all that to the edge where this casino is being built, and you make your way into basically a construction, what looks like a big construction site. There are all sorts of machinery that are lifting heavy pieces of equipment and materials. People seem to be working. There are lots of different types of beings here that are working on the various stages of putting this building together, which seems unfinished, but there is some of it that seems like definitely a lot of progress has been made. And then there are some rougher customers that are sort of walking around here. They look different than just the average worker. Some of them are openly armed, and a lot of them are a being called Weequay, which are a really leathery, wrinkly faced being with skin tones in browns, and they have a lot of horns that stick up around their face, horns and spikes and stuff like that. They kind of look like spiky little mummies. If you're familiar with Hondo Onaka, he is a Weequay, and he kind of looks, like a spooky Gila monster mummy. And there is an entrance leading into the casino that looks big, like an entrance that would allow for a lot of people to move through. And there are definitely some there sort of like standing around. It looks like they're a checkpoint of allowing people into this building.
Oh, cool. Okay, so we have to probably get stopped by these guys as we're marching on through.
Yeah. I'm wishing that I had gotten my secret compartment edition now, because I'm thinking they're gonna take our shit if there's people at the door.
They're not gonna kill us though. Like
No.
we're here to do work, right? So
Okay.
I guess we continue walking in. Beegax takes note of like how many Weequay there are, and you're like, I'm sure he's seen them on Malastare and has heard about them, so he'll kind of just mumble to himself like, Griff, tough customers. It's a lot of Weequay. And he'll continue walking, I guess, till we get to a point where we have to get stopped. Because I assume we need like an elevator or some kind of something to take us to the top. Because these guys are the gangsters, or the Hutt's not going to be down here.
Yeah, and you're stopped. You're stopped there. There are about 4 sort of like standing around. Who are you?
Oh, sorry. Beegax hired help from Placebo for Zalto. This is my associate.
Hello. We have an appointment.
He like looks at his fellows around him, and he like laughs a little bit. He's busy.
That's too bad, because we were told to come here immediately. So we can wait. It's not a big deal. He looks at Elo. You know, if you want to tell the Hutt why you made him wait, that's fine with me.
He like looks at Beegax, and he like his brows furrow. You can wait all you want. Just don't do it here. He's busy.
Oh, okay. Well, Beegax is very frustrated now. He'll kind of snarl, and in very Sebulba fashion, he'll kind of strut closer to the Weequay. Look, buddy. Placebo and Zalto are expecting us. If you're not going to let us through, the least you can do is go up there and tell them we're here.
As you're saying this, the 2 of you begin to notice a sound. It's got sort of like a Doppler effect, where it's like it's starting quiet and you can hear it like change in pitch and volume as it comes closer. And it seems to be coming from above you. And it kind of sounds like and then to the side of you, a body falls into a pile of like construction and material, creating a loud banging sound. Dust comes up and particles, and the sand just seems to like get wet as vital essence seem to like be seeping out into it.
Beegax looks at it and looks back towards the Weequay.
Okay, he'll see you now.
Right. Thanks. Okay.
You come in to a sort of like a palatial entrance, like the lobby of a very expensive looking casino. I'm going to get some details from the 2 of you, but it has this, like, when you walk in, it's sort of like you're walking into a different world almost. Like, gone is the harsh red light of the planet. Gone is the ashy, coarse black sand. Like, everywhere is just this, like, wonderful lighting that just sort of illuminates the soft light atmosphere around here. The motif is sort of like Aloha Paradise almost, you know what I mean? And it's spatial and palatial.
If it were to have games, maybe it would be that they're sort of motion activated, so when you're walking past, things start lighting up. You
That's
know,
cool.
like welcome to Slot Machine G47A. Try your luck, and it just starts talking at you, like as you're walking through this ginormous space.
Very cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Where it's just like this thing's just throwing ads at you, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, try it out." When you said spatial and palatial, for some reason, I thought of like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, where there's like these waterways, but like we're walking on top of them because like there's glass or some sort of solidified. This is a hut, so it's got to be opulent. Some sort of solidified, like, diamond floor that we can see through. And underneath, there's these waterways with all this different, like, aquatic life that definitely should not be on Socorro.
Yes, yes.
And it's like the path leading to, like, the elevators or, like, through the casinos, through the different sections that they want to guide you to. Like, that's basically the waterway moving towards different areas.
Yeah. Oh, that I love that too. Yeah. There's like, it's basically rivers and streams that have been sort of like made with this clear, beautiful, clear material. There's life under there, like swimming around. You can see like little fish and frogs and all kinds of bizarre little things that I imagine that are around like coral reef, you know, like colorful, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's no one in here at the moment, like not even any workers or anything. It's definitely unfinished. Like there's still some drop cloths and things like that are hanging around, but it looks really, really nice. And there's this elevator made out of that same like clear material that let's say at the very center of the whole structure going up.
I mean, if there's no one in here, but I think we can both assume that we're headed up top. We just saw this guy fall from the top, so
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I think Ella would just head straight over to the elevator and hop in if it's working. If we have to take the stairs, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, You mean you don't have boosters like R2D2? You can just
Yeah, so you go into the elevator and it's just as opulent as this lobby. There's like a comforting voice that says, you know, like, thank you, in Huttese or something like that, as the doors like satisfyingly like close in front of you. And swiftly but comfortably, as if on a cloud, you float to the top of this building here. It opens up onto a hallway. Think like a sort of like penthouse apartment or something like that, where the elevator is the door basically, and it sort of leads down this hallway into a very nice office. You can see doors sort of like opened up, and as you make your way down this hall and into this office, you can see the office itself is unfinished, but is also just like palatial and opulent. Like it still has all of the trappings that make this casino seem very rich feeling. And then in here is, of course, a big Hutt. He looks very muscular for a Hutt, if you can imagine that. When he like turns to you from the windows that look out onto the city of Ikea and onto the spaceport, you can see sort of like, along with the bulkiness of a Hutt comes like the rippling of these muscles around the shoulders and arms and like whatever the abs would be of a Hutt. Brown coloration and great big like yellow eyes, just those like big Hutt yellow eyes.
Welcome. Placebo's told me a whole lot about you.
Nice to finally meet you, Zalto. I'm Beegax, this is Elo. We did some work for you earlier.
You mean that job for Placebo? No, that wasn't for me. No. Placebo's... He's got his own side hustles, if you know what I mean.
Alright, yeah, that's fair. Well, then, what do you need, sir?
Well, he has nothing but good things to say about you, and you go the extra mile. I like that. And I just wanted to get to know you a little better. What do you say?
Yeah, sure. We got nothing but time, I guess. Just one thing. Your associate promised us some information. You see, we have our own side hustle as well, and he never gave us the info he promised. We're looking for somebody, and he has at least a good starting point of where to search. He just hasn't given it to us yet, and we've been looking to make sure everything is on the up and up and kind of even keel, I guess.
There'll be plenty of time to talk about that.
And he slugs over to the two of you, and he slides in between you, with his corpulence, he makes it so that you have to sort of step aside a little bit to make room for him as he comes in between you.
Tell me, come over here. Take a look out the window with me.
Don't get too close.
Yeah, I mean, I move with him, but it's I'm giving him a little bit of a space, not too much space.
He gestures out, and through the windows, I mean, there's a lot of window in this office too, so you can see the spaceport. Like I said, you can see the city, and he says,
"Look out the window and tell me what you see."
Okay, I see the city, the spaceport, and I squint a little hard. And I mean, I think that's my ship right there. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it's probably right there.
Your ship.
Oh, sorry, our ship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello, nudges him. Then you hear him coming up right up next to Beegax. He doesn't touch you or anything, but he's very close.
You out there, that is opportunity. You ever heard of something the Socorrans call Akua?
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
It's basically old Corellian for stay in your lane. Don't step on toes.
It's like a phrase.
Yeah, it's more of a cultural belief, something like that.
I don't appropriate other cultures, so I wouldn't know about that.
Well, it's one that they hold very tightly to, and all I think it means is that they're just afraid of change. See, I want to make something out of this dust ball. Those criminals that run this place, they don't like me doing that. I want to turn this into a place where people can relax and forget the war, have a drink, and, of course, spend a lot of credits.
That seems like it would be hard to do with the Empire freshly on Socorro.
Yeah, Elo's got a point. You got a bigger problem than convincing people to spend credits.
He, turns over to Elo, and he's like,
I'm not so worried about the Empire. We've got a little deal between us. Now, the criminals up in that tower, they were afraid I'd bring the Empire, what with bringing all the attention of a casino to them, but look, they come on their very own, didn't they?
Totally. They were definitely not beckoning.
Yeah, not for us. What? Yeah. No broadcast went out. What are you talking about?
And his big yellow eyes blink at you. And he looks up at the tower and he's like,
I want to make this place rival their whole thing. Like I said, they don't like that. They would kill me if they could. You're not here to kill me, are you?
When you say they, who are you talking about?
He points up at the at Soco-Jaal tower.
The ones that run Socorro.
What do you mean? Is it like a council or something?
Yeah, like something. It's a trio of ruthless smugglers and criminals that the Outer Rim has not seen the like of in many years.
How dangerous are they?
Very. But the thing about them is they can't touch me. You see, they got a peace with the Hutts on Nar Shaddaa. Tense. But if they were to come and step to me, well, then we'd have a whole big problem.
I see, yeah. Hutts are renowned for keeping their word, I gotta say. Back on Malastare, there were a few Hutts. I've seen them, never really talked to them. But I know that you're people of your word, so if you can assure me that my associate and I, while doing work for you, won't get directly involved with those, what you call them, those others.
They like to call themselves a triumvirate. And trust me, it's hard to stay out of their way doing anything on Socorro. Let's not talk about work just yet. I want to talk to you more about something that I'm excited about. See, I've got a vision for Socorro. Those crime lords up in that tower, and even those old worms on Nar Shaddaa, they're happy with things just the way they are. They don't like change, lost the stomach for it. Now, Placebo got the impression that you came to Socorro hungry, with purpose. I want to know, what's your vision?
Well, that's a question dogs don't get asked usually. Our vision, and he's going to make sure to point to Elo and himself. Our vision is fixing up our ship, making a few creds, leaving here in one piece, and continuing with our goal of finding someone. Not trying to get tied into the Empire would help. Not trying to get on your bad side would also be a plus.
What'd you think of the casino?
Oh yeah, looks great. You know, a lot of style. Nothing gross, nothing sleemo, nothing like that. Everything on the up and up. Very, what's the word I'm looking for? And he looks at Elo.
The word you're looking for is clean.
Clean. Yeah, clean, very clean.
Well, thank you very much. I pride myself on cleanliness. It is next to godliness. I got the idea for the whole thing from Old Mantell. You ever been to Old Mantell?
No, but I heard they used to have some good races on there.
The best. That's a gambler's paradise. Casinos as far as the eye can see. And they'll bet on anything. Races, they bet on how long it'd take for their own mother to disintegrate in a Sarlacc pit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the gamblers in Ord Mantell.
You like to travel?
And then Beegax realizes this guy's getting information out of him. He's like, I'll play along. Not by choice.
So it's not a recreational thing?
No, now it is, but before it wasn't. It was for doing a few jobs here and there. Placebo told you that I'm a slicer, right?
He did, and sounds like a very impressive one.
I don't like to advertise myself. Any good slicer doesn't.
He also said you were a medical droid?
And you can see, like, the question in the voice is reflected in his face as he, like, takes all of Elo in with all of their amalgamation of parts.
That is correct. I have been modified to do medical procedures.
Anything else?
I'm a pretty good shot.
Yeah. Well, Elo's better than me at that's for sure.
Now, I know it doesn't sound like you're here to stay, which is a shame, because there is also room in this operation for a dedicated medical unit.
Well, I don't know if those people told you or not, but wherever I go, Elo goes. It's kind of a package deal.
I like that package. I could use a talented slicer on my team.
Hey, if this goes well, there's always remote work. I'm pretty good. I mean, we're slicers are renowned for being available wherever they are.
That's true. And let me tell you, Zalto is a forward-thinking entrepreneur. We like all kinds of remote availability. We are open to that.
Get better than some jobs I've applied for.
Alex peeking through
Alex
a little.
leaking into Beegax. What are your benefits, your health benefits here? How did your company culture handle COVID-19? Honestly, before we do anything or agree to anything, I'd like to hear the specifics first. I know you've kind of been going around in circles here, and that's no fault of your own, sir. It's just, I understand you're a very careful businessman, but I'm very detail-oriented. I'd like to know the job a little bit before I decide if I'm going to take it or not.
You're thorough, and I like that. Placebo didn't mention that. See, I'm learning something new. All right, let's talk turkey.
And he goes over to those bowls with the frogs in it, and he fishes one out, offers it to Beegax.
Space frog?
No, I'm more of a herbivore these days.
All right.
He takes it and just squeezes it in his hand into a cup, and it's essence just dribbles out. He takes a sip of this disgusting smelling liquid.
I heard you had a ship.
Yeah, we have a ship, yeah.
And it just so happens I am in need of a ship and a crew.
And he looks over to the balcony just outside the window. And our camera looks down, cuts down to the floor level where the Weequay are pulling this body away from all of this stuff. We cut back up.
Like I said, I have an arrangement with the Empire. You see, I bring things to them that they need, and then they give me things that I need. Building a casino is a very expensive endeavor, as you can imagine. I need you to go to a little planet named Scarif. You ever been?
No, but I've heard things.
Oh, it is gorgeous, let me tell you.
Yeah, I've read. He's gonna start saying I've read reports, but he's gonna catch himself. I've read brochures.
He's yeah, and he points down. He points out to the casino with a big fat hand.
I designed the whole thing on Scarif. I don't know if you could tell. It is so beautiful. The water is as blue as a Twi'lek skin, and the sand is fine, powdery, and warm. Not like the coarse, ashy, scorching sand here on this dust ball. No. Scarif is a paradise. It is the exact opposite of Socorro, and I am trying to bring a little piece of that paradise here. You know? We're gonna bring in some of that sand. We're gonna bring some of that crystal clear water and put it all around the perimeter of the lobby like a little boat ride, just lazily sort of get in a tube.
Lazy river.
And just sit in and just, have a drink, relax, forget about the world on the outside. Anyway, Scarif is wonderful. And that is where I'll need you to go.
Okay, well, not that it won't be difficult to get there, that's easy, but hauling back water, sand, trees. Our ship isn't that big. It's a freighter, but sounds like what you need is something more industrial sized.
Oh, no, I think your ship should be able to handle it. We're a little ways away from bringing in the landscaping. Right now, we're bringing in more supplies and building materials, stuff that that is much needed to get the infrastructure built up around here. Now, the Empire, they're building some kind of, well, they're calling it a camp. A training camp. I don't know what that is. I'll need you to bring them a few things, and more importantly, I need you to bring back what they have for me. Am I clear?
It's an exchange of some kind.
Some kind, yes. Now, I want to put these slicing abilities to use. You know, I deal with the Empire, but I only trust them as far as I can throw them, and with these little arms, I can't throw them too far.
Don't discount yourself there, buddy.
Thank you kindly. Any, information that you might be able to get during your time there would be, well, it would be appreciated.
Bonus points for information. Got it. Alright, so we know the job. Some details you might want to know. And then he's going to look at Elo, like, giving them a heads up, like, okay, be ready. Like, kind of like a warning look. Like, me and the Empire, we don't exactly mix.
No!
Oh?
He just like raises his thick brows.
Yeah.
Elo does not want you to go into this. And Elo is just going to say,
Sleep dart.
pressure point! I don't think anyone really gets along with the Empire. It's more, we deal with them when we must.
Right. And he kind of catches their drift. Anyways, if we're going to do this for you, we're going to need fake papers. I can make them myself, but I'm in the process of some upgrades for my deck.
I see. Placebo will handle all the details for you. I just wanted to get a sense of who you were and what you were about. I think you're fine people, and I think that we could partner very well. And maybe I can even convince you to stick around for a little bit. I'm willing to offer you 5,000 credits for this trip alone.
And he like leans in real close to the two of you.
And there's plenty more of that where it came from.
Well, 5,000 for a simple exchange. Very generous. Let's call it 5,000 with the papers. Let's say 4,000 with the papers and a few armaments, and you got yourself a deal.
He sticks out his chubby yet muscular arm.
Beegax reaches out, shakes it with his hand, but it feels a little warm and gross.
He takes a big drink of his frog squirts.
Well, it was a pleasure doing business with you, Beegax and Elo. Sure, I can't offer you any space frog.
No, thank you, sir. We'll be, I'll be fine, and Elo doesn't eat.
That is too bad. Well, if that's everything, I think, our mutual friend, Placebo, has something he wants to tell you. Something he wanted to tell you in person. I think you know where to find him.
Yeah, we do.
I look forward to hearing from you again. And remember, you need to come back with those supplies. I don't want to think about what would happen if you didn't.
Understood. Makes perfect sense.
And he like turns back around and like moves his body, those like weird Hutt muscles like rippling as he slides over to the window and stares out at the vista of the city and the spaceport. We like do a screen wipe or something, like a V wipe, and you guys are outside the casino. You're making your way back into the city. You're on the way to whatever's next.
Beegax would probably... and tell me if I'm wrong, Jamie, but we should probably go back to Versus' house to pick up the deck, I think. Because I don't know if Creed bought the deck or not.
Walking out, Elo is going to, as they're walking, presumably towards Versus to get your deck, Elo's going to say, "Well, that was very interesting. I found him quite charming in comparison to our other offers on this planet."
Don't be fooled. Most Hutts aren't charismatic, not by a long shot. This one's different, but at his core, he's still a Hutt. And you don't want to be in a Hutt's pocket.
So then, that was deception? I suppose I'm confused about what our next steps are here.
No, you're right. I'm confused too. Have you ever heard of Scarif before?
No, I'm unfamiliar.
I'm assuming that I know because I worked in ISB, but I'll just if I know the general stuff.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, yeah, I think Beegax would definitely know. Maybe not what like specifically is going on there, but for sure.
There's a camp, so Beegax would continue. Yeah, it's not a camp that's there. It's a base, or at least the start of one. As far as what we're bringing them, I don't know what Imperials would want from a Hutt. It's clear what he wants. He wants the building materials at unit cost or for cheaper than he would buy them from actual traders. It's a beautiful place.
If we're going to do this job, we'll have to tread carefully. With your history with the Empire, we can't have Zalto or the Empire know that you're on planet.
That's what I'm hoping the fake papers will do. Okay, let's go check on Creed, see if he got my deck. And then we go meet Placebo. Wherever we'd meet him, I guess the bar we found him the first time.
Yeah, the Umbra Vale is typically where you've met Placebo, and likely where you'll find him again.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then I'd say we hightail it to Versus' place.
You make your way through the city again, weaving through alleyways and through various markets. And Elo, you pick something up on your sensors, auditory sensors. It sort of like comes in over the din of voices and beasts of burden, instruments, and the sounds of commerce. It sounds like someone speaking, and it's kind of familiar. The truth in our soul is that nothing is true. The question of life is what then do we do? The burden is ours, to penance we hew. The force binds us all from a certain point of view.
I am one with the force of Sorry.
It sounds also, this voice sounds distorted as if it's coming through some kind of device or hollow recording.
Interesting. And you said I've heard it before? Or it sounded familiar?
You certainly have seen the first part of it before.
Got it.
This is part of something that was on Borsk's datapad.
Okay. I think while we're walking through the city headed towards Versus, Elo is just going to stop in their tracks and sort of like take this in. I believe I'm receiving a transmission.
Oh, wow. He looks around. What does it say?
And verbatim, Elo is going to repeat this mantra to Beegax.
Force stuff, Beegax doesn't know anything about that. Not even the religion, not even concept. Like, he understands that, yeah, it's something that the Jedi's used, but that's about the extent of it. And he'll kind of tilt his head. That sounds like religious stuff to me. Didn't realize you could pick up, that specific channel from all the whack jobs out here.
I'm not sure it's coming through a channel.
It's coming from somewhere in, have you ever been in, an alley in, San Francisco or something? And,
all the time.
All the time, yeah, right? But, you hear a noise, and because of the acoustics of the city, it's, amplified somehow.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
But and you know it's coming from somewhere, but it's hard to totally pinpoint where it is. It's sort of echoing down an alley. Now, Beegax, now that you're sort of keyed into it, you can hear it. You can hear it as well. It sounds like some kind of voice recording.
Beegax will look to Elo. It's coming this way, I think. And he's kind of walking to the alley. He feels compelled because it's this is so weird. Kind of carefully trudge through the alleyway because alleys and us don't mix very well.
Yeah, before going into this alley, Elo's gonna look around to make sure that that there's nobody that's gonna jump them, or even that Zalto hasn't had anybody tailing us.
The streets are crowded. It's hard to tell if anyone is following you. There doesn't seem to be anyone in the alley. You walk into the alleyway and the light begins to dim a little bit as you're coming into a more shaded area here. Gone are the sort of mechanical fans that try and keep the street cool, and now just slow big ones that are moving. A lot of the heat is sort of kept out by coverings that are draped over lackadaisically over the tops of the buildings here. And alley animals and people just sort of go about their business, not taking much notice to you as you move through the street here. And there is a small doorway that is open, maybe those strips of plastic that have been weathered from the heat and the dirt of the outside sort of hang over this door with not much else. And it seems like this is where the sound is coming from, this audio.
I was just gonna say, if it's not guarded or anything, I feel like Elo would hold open this curtain to let Beegax go through.
He looks at Elo. Oh, okay, yeah, me first. All right. And he'll pull out his gun very carefully and kind of, in a Han Solo-like manner, walk in with the gun up, peek inside.
You see an old, weathered man, and he is sitting on a cushion on the floor where there is a space to sit. You can't see too much of his face. It doesn't have his back totally to you, but he seems engrossed in a hologram that is playing, which is a man sort of standing and reading from something. The truth in our soul is that nothing is true. The question of life is what then do we do? The burden is ours, to penance we hew. The force binds us all from a certain point of view.
Beegax puts the gun away quickly as he sees the old man. And he looks around the room, then kind of speaks up, try to get his attention. Hello?
And this old man turns around and he looks at you with some visible confusion of why you're suddenly in his house. He looks at you and then immediately shuts this recording off, presses a button on whatever device is playing it. Who are you? What are you doing in my house?
Honestly, I don't know. Beegax was behind and looks at Elo and back. My friend and I, we were just walking and we heard something, some kind of poem or something playing, and we just followed it in here. Just felt compelled to come check it out, honestly.
Compelled?
Well, compelled's kind of strong, but I just got an urge to find the source of that poem. It's not that great, actually, now that I think about it. It wasn't it rhymed, but it wasn't not my preference.
He cranes his neck around and he's like, who is the one you are with?
Elo is gonna walk in a little further and just say, "Hello, I am Elo."
Are you compelled as well? Hello.
I think Elo's gonna look down at Beegax and back at this old man and say, "We've encountered a lot of strange oddities in the city. This was one that piqued our interest, yes."
Well, I mean, not you personally, but the poem or whatever you were just watching. Seemed odd.
Are you stormtroopers? You have to tell me if you are.
What? Beegax looks at Elo again. What? Like defeated.
Why do people... No, we're not stormtroopers. Are you kidding me? They wouldn't even let me probably wear the suit, even if I wanted to.
He thinks about this and he's like, it doesn't seem like it would fit you very well. That is true.
Yeah, they don't include Dougs in their stormtrooper lineup, if you know what I mean.
Who are you?
I'm, my name's Beegax. This is my friend Elo. They're a medical droid. They're my buddy, my partner, associate. We're kind of, we're freelancers.
I am Obram. Welcome to my home. I guess you just kind of came in.
Well, to be fair, you don't have a door, so...
That's very true. I can't afford one.
He'll scratch his chin.
That sucks. Sorry. Sorry. Are we bothering you, old guy? I mean, we kind of just did show up in here, and we do that stuff we gotta do. Are we imposing on you or anything? I don't wanna be rude.
No, I had nothing planned.
All right.
Come, sit. Are you familiar with the sermons of the Church of the Force? Why did you seek this?
You know, the longer I stay in here, the more I'm asking myself that same question. You could say maybe the Force called us in here.
And he kind of chuckles.
He like laughs along with you a little bit, more of just like a dusty like.
If you think the Force drew you in here, perhaps it has something to say to you.
So Beegax, I think we both know the word force, but we don't know like the church or name. So Beegax will look at Elo. Who kind of whisper?
Do you know what he's talking about?
No, I know very little about the Force.
We're uneducated, I guess. I mean, there's not a whole lot of temples these days.
And he kind of laughs, and then looks at Obram's reaction, which I assume is not laughing, and he'll kind of go, "Ha ha,
Griff."
You see like a veil of sadness like fall over his face a little bit.
It is dangerous these days to talk about the Force and the ones who wield it.
Yeah, I guess.
I would, however, be a little more cautious. What with the Empire? We were two strangers that just heard it on the street.
Oh, yes, good call.
He points to Elo.
Fetch that blanket there. Yes, if you could just throw that over the door, dampen the sound a bit.
Ella will oblige and pick up this blanket, which I imagine is probably a little nasty.
yeah.
little dirty, maybe covered with some sand. Shake it out a little bit, and then we'll toss it over the door.
Yeah, some old man sadness stains too.
Oh, what fluid is that? Who wants to know?
No one. Nope. Make your own guesses.
As a medical droid, I can identify each and every one of these bodily fluids.
That's true. You. So, Elo turns on ultraviolet vision.
Oh no!
God,
sees it. Sees this rug. Sees there's way too many old man sadness stains on it.
And then he's gonna take a good look at the old man and kind of dig in. And be like,
Forgive me for intruding here, but were you a member of the church?
I was, yes. I was a part of the chapter on Jedi, and I fled when the Empire came. My hope was I could start anew, find those who believed true, and restart again. somewhere away from the Empire.
He's gonna kind of sink. I assume we're sitting on like these pillows on the ground or something. He's gonna sink down a little, like.
I mean, I don't know if you've looked outside, but I don't think Socorro's a safe spot to start your new chapter here, bud.
He'll look at Elo look for confirmation. Like, help me convince this guy not to stay here.
Yeah, right. Should we take him with us?
I'll just to tell him like, hey, Socorro's not a good idea. It's kind of what.
Yeah.
Beegax is looking for like reinforcements. Like, yeah, it's even if he doesn't come with us, it's not safe for this guy to be here.
Elo is gonna sort of say, "It's true. The Empire grows in force each day on Socorro. We've seen it in the short time that we've been here."
Yeah, we've only been here like 3 or 4 days, and I can tell you I've run into more Imperials here than I have on Malastare or Balui.
You're very open for a stranger.
Yeah, I realize that now as the words leave my mouth. Are you doing something to me? Is this one of those like Jedi tricks or something?
He like laughs and shakes his head.
I do not know the ways of the Jedi, but I do know the gifts of the Force. How can I help you, Beegax and Elo?
Beegax kind of like sinks in again, like,
I can't believe I'm going to say this.
and he's gonna pull out the lightsaber from his pack and show it. Obviously, Elo knows I have it, but he's gonna present it so that Elo and the old man can see it.
So you pull out this lightsaber, and like out of the dingy back room of the weapon shop here, like it looks a little DIY. He looks in total surprise when you pull this out.
A Jedi weapon?
Yeah, we got this when we were buying weapons for ourselves, and I don't know, I've heard stories about it. It seemed cool. Pretty criffing strong. So I thought, we thought we should pick it up.
It seems quite the coincidence that we would find this weapon and then run into you.
He, holds his hands out, and, you can see, they're shaking, and he's like,
May I see it, please?
Yeah, just be careful.
And he hands it to the guy.
You put it in his hands. At first, he, holds it with, utter reverence. And then, his face sort of, falls a little bit.
This is no Jedi weapon.
Then we got ripped off.
And he turns it on. A blue light sort of, flickers on. And then comes out. And he, reaches over to some baskets or something. And he just, flicks his hand out. And it goes right through the baskets. And when I say right through, I mean it doesn't cut anything.
Yeah, it's fake.
It just goes right through.
This lacks a soul of Kyber.
Ugh. Beegax does that. Ugh.
Kyber, that's the mineral, the crystal, yeah?
Yes. I am sorry.
And he turns it off and hands it back to you.
Well, better we find out now than if I try to use it on some stormtroopers or something.
May I offer some advice?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Don't use this on stormtroopers.
Well, yeah, it was just a figure of speech. I mean, let me.
And he'll take the lightsaber, put it back in the pack.
My friend and I have some work to finish here on Socorro. But,
and it looks like he's fighting a part of himself.
I would be remiss if I let an old man who's of harm to no one stay here in what's essentially becoming the belly of the beast. We got a ship. And we're trying to get away from the Empire as well. You could ride with us till we find you somewhere safe to keep you. And get dropped off there and start your new chapter.
Are you leaving Socorro?
Definitely. 100%. Not right now, though.
We have a few business items to take care of before we're able to leave.
Yeah.
I see.
And he, thinks this over a little bit.
I don't know why you stumbled into my home today, but I think it was for a reason. And I will go with you. Let me gather my things, and you can show me the way.
Literally.
Yeah, Beegax will think about it. Oh, that's funny. That's the name of our ship, actually.
Oh.
It's kind of a headache, but it is what it is.
It also may be safer if we can come and get you once we're ready to leave Socorro. The business we have to attend to is no place for an old man. No offense.
We're going to an Imperial planet, which, now that I say it out loud, sounds like a tremendously bad idea.
Maybe there's a reason for that, too.
Hopefully it doesn't involve too much blaster fire. Alright, well, Obram, stay put. Don't play that sermon too loud, and we'll come get you when we're leaving. When we're done with all the work.
Thank you. I shall remain here. And Beegax, hello. May the Force be with you.
Beegax looks at Elo like, okay, what do we say in response? And he goes,
ditto.
We wipe back to Versa's place. She seems to be watching the news and stuff that's going on. Creed is there, and he's got a bunch of. He's just got bags of stuff, and he we wipe to the table and just set down, and there's components there for this deck, and Creed's like,
I got what you asked for, and change too.
Keep it. It's yours.
Really? It's 250 credits.
Give me half. You keep the other half.
You got it.
Alright, I'm gonna be building this for a little bit, but, Verse, I need to talk to you for a sec.
yeah, what's going on? Did you meet with the Hutt? How'd that go? You're back alive, so I guess pretty well.
Shh, not so loud. Yeah.
he's gonna look at Elo and he'll motion them over, come here. Out of Creed's earshot, he's gonna be like,
oh, look, the Hutt gave us work, obviously. It sounds simple, but it's never simple with the Hutt. I could use another gun on this job, just in case.
I knew it. I knew this was coming.
But I'm willing to pay you 1,000 creds. All you gotta do is come with us.
All I gotta do is come with you?
Yeah, and if we get into a firefight, have our back, but... We're not going in looking for trouble. We're going in, drop something else, and pick something up.
Where? What?
I don't want to tell you. You just say yes or no right now with the money.
No details.
he's gonna look around.
The Hutt wants us to go to Scarif.
I've heard of it, but...
Oh, okay, yeah, it's perfectly safe. It's perfectly fine.
Okay, so opposite of that.
Yeah, part of him is itching at him, no, tell the truth. And he goes,
It's supposed to be safe, but when I worked for the Empire, they were building a base there. At least the start of one. Probably it's not finished yet, but I expect security. But not a whole lot.
Hopefully not a lot of trouble since we're picking something up from them.
Yeah, they should know we're coming. I got fake papers coming too, so...
Verse looks at you, looks at Creed, okay, 1,000 credits.
Yeah, just you.
For me and for Creed.
So you want 2,000 total?
Yes.
I need him to do something different. He wouldn't be coming with us. There's an old man not too far from here. We are going to take him with us after this is all done. Take him somewhere safe. he's definitely not safe here on Socorro, given the current administration's stance.
None of us are.
Yeah, well, him especially. I'm gonna need you to look after him while we're gone.
Okay.
Just kind of hang out with him, buy him food, keep him safe.
He may get a little preachy.
Yeah. Just humor him a little if he starts talking about the temple or the force, stuff like that.
Okay.
All right.
Does he have any favorite games?
He's got like a little hologram he watches very frequently. You can try to play that, but just play it with low volume because it's really preachy.
So like Sabak or...
You know what? I'm sure he'd love to learn. You can teach him.
You see like a big smile come up on Creed's face, and he's like,
I don't know how to play Sabak.
You both can learn. But babysitting costs a little less than 1,000 crits. So we'll say 1,500. 1,000 for you, 500 for Creed.
Verse like sort of like runs her thumb over her lips, and then she goes, okay, deal.
Puts out his hand, shakes it.
When do we go?
We leave as soon as we talk to the Rhodian.
All right, fine. Well, you know where to find me.
Yeah, just be ready.
You got it, Captain?
He kind of like hesitates when he hears that. And he'll go to the deck, to the pieces of the deck, and he looks at it and he's like,
These are good. It's gonna be a little while, but I'll get something nice from this.
and without even telling anyone what he's doing, he's just going to start building it. He's just going to start putting things together.
It's like we see it all coming together in his vision. Like we see it all like coming together, like his own lightsaber. Like we just see the components like slide into place as Beegax like sees what he has to do, what he's going to do, and again he builds this deck. Tell me what does it look like now? How is it different?
So because it's not as expensive or powerful as the Imperial version, it's slimmer for one. It's a lot smaller, so it'll fold into two pieces. So when it expands, it's a little longer, but it's like the size of, let's say, two keyboards placed together vertically, and then when you open them by pulling them apart from the top, so they open outwards, like almost like a V in a V fashion. From there's like two screens instead of the multiple displays he had before. It's got the key bindings of, I guess, humans, or so he has to operate under the non-Doug keyboard. It's a little rough for him at first. So when he's like running BIOS and stuff, he's like, crap. I'm at least 5% slower with these, and he's like clacking away. Oh, and it's like all black and gray. It's like all the casing and everything is all one color.
Craig goes over and is like,
I sprung for the lights too.
Thanks, I like them.
And he'll like flick a switch and like it's like the red LED around.
yeah,
and it goes blue.
Yeah, it's like the real like gaudy LED stuff on PCs. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like that's not gonna help me when I'm, running some slices, but it'll make me feel better.
I mean, it looks choice though.
Oh yeah, definitely does.
We follow those lights going around on the thing, and then as it goes, it like wipes to the Umbra Veil, and we see Elo and Beegax like walking in. And Alex, is it? You said back. Like, do you carry it on your back? Is that how you're picturing it? Like,
yeah, I have like a backpack. Yeah,
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you come into the Umbra Veil. It's the seedy patrons of a bar in late afternoon. That haze of smoke and smell seem to refract the red light that filters in through horizontal blinds and crash onto the dirty glasses and floor of this tavern. Placebo, the Rhodian, big eyes, green skin, little snoot, sitting as he typically is at a booth with a drink of some kind and seems to be disassociating. When he sees you come in, he like waves you over with his long suction cup hands.
Yeah, Beegax will walk in, nod, and sit down in the booth and wait for Elo to get in there as well.
Same. I think they would also immediately sit down.
I got your contact the other day. So sorry to hear, but glad we are still speaking and you are alive for now. Did you speak with Zalto?
Yeah, we did.
Good. And how was he? His mood?
He seemed to be in good spirits.
Yep.
Excellent. He does not like to wait. Don't make him wait again. Or me, for that matter.
Alright, noted.
You have taken the job, yes?
Yeah, that's why we're here, buddy, and we're also looking for a couple things. 3 things, actually.
Okay, how can placebo help you?
Placebo can get us the information on the man we're looking for first, followed by the papers we need for the mission, and also the extra armaments that Zalto agreed to give us in lieu of 1,000 credits knocked off the reward. We need a disruptor rifle.
Disruptor rifle, very hard to come by, more than 1,000 credits.
Yeah, but I think it's worth it if we're gonna go, run some errands for Zalto.
I will see what I can do. The papers,
He waves his big long fingers.
no problem, Batisa.
Figured you're very good at that.
And the person you are looking for.
He flips a data pad over and spins it around to you and leans in.
I could not find anyone named Gur. However, I did find a Bothan here on Socorro, hiding in Soco-Jaal, walled city. Very hard to get into.
We've seen it.
Elo is gonna sort of look at this data pad and then look back up at Placebo. How soon can you get us the rifle and papers? As you said, we would hate to make Zalto wait.
Give me 1 rotation.
It would be appreciated if you could forward this information.
He sticks his little finger on the data pad and does a flick, and that information is now on your systems.
You've got mail.
The name of this Bothan is Snowball.
Beegax kind of shakes his head a little.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, very peculiar name. Very sexy for Bothan name.
Yeah, very sexy for most anyone kind of name. It's exotic.
And quite specific.
This Rhodian sort of smirking smarmily from across the table, and on this data pad you can see just the information sort of written out in Arabesh, Bothan, Soco-Jaal, and Snowball.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It's a simple thing that will really help us grow the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AEHerrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Elo is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in the show is provided with permissions by a variety of artists and are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work and tell them how much you like the show. The Star Wars role-playing system and books are published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
I'm so tired. Why am I tired? Wake up, Alex.
Because it was a lunar eclipse last night and it messed with your brain.
Was it a lunar eclipse?
It was a strawberry moon, yeah.
I didn't even notice. How come no
What
one
is
told
a
me?
strawberry moon? That sounds delicious.
Right?
Yeah, I have one of those. Can I have one of those? Who sells those? Cafe 50s? Jack in the Box?